I'm the one who said, go get the twins. Twins are handsome. I think we can pull this off. And then he said, okay, let's go get them. And that's what he did. Where was his dad at? He never did shit. And he got jealous. How many months were the twins here? 9 months they stay with me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'll bring you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. And here I thought this was going to be a one video thing, because you know Rikishi's going to have to probably respond to all this when it's all said and done. Zilla Fatu's mom put him on straight blast, but can't say it's not deserved, man. It's always that one family member and I know you guys have it in your family also, that one hating ass nigga in your family. You know, we gonna call him the Rikishi at this point, but you know, it is what it is. Zilla Fatu's mom went completely, she went after his ass in this one, man. She went after his ass, and I can't say it couldn't happen to a better person. Rikishi need to sit his ass down somewhere. But nevertheless, though, yeah, check it out. By the way, if you go check out her TikTok video, or if you go follow her, if you hear the word or the name Eki or Eddie, just understand that she's referring to Umaga. Although Zilla Fatu does have a son now, I believe, a couple of months ago, he just had a little boy that he called Eki also, and you know, in honor of his dad. So might be him also, but it's most likely his father. Nevertheless, though, check it out. Link is down in the description box below. Zilla Fatu's mother went scorched earth on Rikishi following the WWE Hall of Famer's disrespectful comments towards her son and late husband Umaga. In a series of videos on TikTok, Zilla Fatu's mother went after Rikishi. She questioned why Rikishi didn't help or give advice to her son, especially after her family helped Rikishi's sons get started in wrestling. She said her own family was betrayed by people who were supposed to be family. Fatu's mother explained that it was actually her idea to bring in the Usos because she thought they had potential. Umaga agreed, and they both helped the twins get started. She said Rikishi didn't help at all and instead got jealous. According to her, the twins lived with her for about 9 or 10 months. During that time, she cooked for them, made their shakes, took them to the gym, and then her late husband drove them to Booker T's wrestling school. She said all that work paid off when they got signed to WWE in less than a year, but that's also when jealousy started in the family. And a quote from Zilla Fatu's mom, "Yeah, man, it's sad, but where were you at? Did you give any advice to my son? After we put your kids up, after we help your twins get up there, your own fucking family can fuck you over. I'm the one who said, go get the twins. Twins are handsome. I think we can pull this off." And then he, referring to Umaga, said, okay, let's go get them. And that's what the fuck we did. Where was their dad at? He never did shit, and he got jealous. How many months were the twins here? 9 fucking months they stayed with me. 9 fucking months. 9 to 10 months. And they got their developmental deal. Why? I was cooking every day, every morning, making shakes, taking their asses to the gym, coming back home, showering. Then my late husband took them to Booker, referring to Booker T obviously. Come on, man. Same thing, same shit. Grind. What happened? They got their developmental deals in 9 to 10 months. And that's when his brother got jealous of him, referring to, you know, obviously Umaga being jealous. Well, Rikishi being jealous of Umaga. It continues on. Zilla's mother says she doesn't speak to her in-laws anymore since Umaga passed away. She accused them of making money off his death and turning their backs on her. She feels hurt by the whole family, especially Rikishi, and says she wants to write a book one day to share her side of the story. Even with all that, she says she still respects and gets along with the Usos and also with Journey and Jacob Fatu and their parents. Her main issue is only with Rikishi, who she said talked badly about Umaga after he passed and couldn't defend himself. And I quote from her, "I don't talk to my in-laws. Ever since my husband passed," referring to Umaga obviously, "nothing. But what did they do? Made money off my husband when he died. Y'all want to talk shit? They made money. Let's be real. They did me wrong. Yeah, this whole fucking family did me wrong. I need to write a book because I need to tell my side of the truth. Fuck his uncle. Fuck Rikishi. I said it. I love Journey and Jacob and their parents. I'm still cool with the Usos. By the way, these are all the brothers outside of Jacob. I think Journey and the Usos, weird that she didn't mention Solo, but nevertheless though, I never had any problem with them or their mom or Jacob's parents. It's just this one, the stink face. Yep, it's him I don't talk to because he said a whole bunch of shit while my husband wasn't here. He can't defend himself, so I will. Zilla's Fatu's mother was also angry about Rikishi's comments, saying Zilla Fatu needs to be in top shape to get into WWE. She said Rikishi never helped her kids and has no right to talk. Her message was clear. She doesn't care what Rikishi thinks and believes he should focus on himself instead. And I quote, she said, he had to say that shit, right? On his podcast. That motherfucker didn't do shit for me or my kids, man. Any of my kids. Rikishi wants Zilla Fatu to come to WWE in tip-top shape. Fuck him. Tell him to go, what the fuck? Tell him to go fuck off, I guess. Tell him to go fucking run a fucking lap. Who gives a fuck what his uncle says? Damn, she popped off. Even Zilla Fatu had called out Rikishi, which obviously we talked about that already, so there's no need to talk about that going any further. But yeah, there's a bunch of TikToks in this article right here. And what this comment says? So some of what mom said I've heard before from some wrestling writers. I can't say she's telling the truth or is flat out lying because I don't know. But there was a lot of anger and frustration in her voice. Yeah, that was a comment underneath one of the posts, underneath this actual article in itself. I mean, in the end of the day, man, like, damn, I hate saying that. I hate this phrase so much, bro. I hate the whole it's her truth. Because like there's no such thing as her truth. It's either fact or it's opinions in the end of the day, right? But at the end of the day, though, if you go look at her TikTok videos, again, I'll link the article, but you can see all her TikToks underneath it. You should probably watch it just to hear the frustration in her voice. She sounds pissed. Like she sounds mad pissed off. And that's a hell of a lot of accusations that I don't know too much of the validity to. You know what I mean? I will say that, like, I think she has the right to be angry, especially when Rikishi legitimately, I mean, again, that was an out-of-pocket statement, no matter how you try to flip it, no matter how you try to change it. Saying some shit like, you know, your dad ain't here no more in any context is going to sound whack as fuck. And Rikishi should know better to say some whack-ass shit like that, especially when you're talking about the man who is trying to pay tribute to his uncle and his uncle's friend, because I'm pretty sure that Jeff Hardy is a huge inspiration to Zilla. You know what I mean? No matter what you try to say, no matter what you try to do, you're going to sound foul as fuck. We talked about this in the last video. But man, to lay these kind of accusations out there and say things such as, you know, like you ain't do a damn thing for any of your kids, that's wild. Because I know one of the first things, I told you guys this in the last video, I made note of the fact that, yeah, it was Umaga who was the one that was putting on the Usos. You know what I mean? You don't have to take anything from his mom. I mean, obviously, Zilla Fatu's mom, obviously she's going to be there. I mean, that's Umaga's wife, you know, and I'm not surprised, obviously. I think that's absolutely 100% true, tongue twister there, that she was the one, you know, making sure the Usos was straight, you know, making sure they clothes was good, making sure, you know, they ate well, making sure they had, you know, had their priors needed and met. Now, do I believe, and she didn't make really note of that. I don't think, you know, like, for example, she need money or something like that, you know, obviously she's straight, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the Usos ain't gonna do no, you know, weird shit and, like, you know, not look out for her, especially when she looked out for them. I'm pretty sure she's straight. You know, I look at the background in the house and the TikTok videos, I don't think she, you know, what would I say, not too well off, you know what I mean, especially with their success right now, especially with Jay Uso's success right now. Jay making millions right now, you know what I mean? So I think, if for anything, Jimmy too, most likely, but they looking out for her. She's straight on that level, right? But or maybe then again, I can't say. You know, let me not even say that because I don't know their family like that to be, you know, speaking on their name like that. I'm just gonna go off what she's saying in this TikTok video. And apparently, Rikishi ain't do shit for the Usos. I mean, I'm gonna leave that up for interpretation as far as how you guys look at that. Do you think Rikishi ain't do shit for the Usos? And then she goes on to just say this shit right here, which I'm looking at mad crazy. She said, you always talk shit about your brother. Like, outside of just a situation, because if you hear how she's talking in the video, I swear to God, it sounds like a reoccurring situation with Rikishi talking shit about Umaga, which is fucking wild if that happens to be true. Because I'm saying, like, my nigga, are you talking shit about your dead brother for the last 16 years? Because Umaga's been gone since 09. Like, I'm reading the room wrong, right? No way throughout these 16 years you even speaking on your brother's name. That's crazy. That's one thing. But at the same time, jealousy? Now, let's get something straight. Before Roman Reigns, make no mistake about it, the biggest Samoans in that family as far as reaching stardom was not Rikishi. It was not. It was Yoko and it was Umaga. Those were the two. Yoko and Umaga. Those were the two boys who made it a superstar, and they surpassed Rikishi. They did. Umaga's a multi-time Intercontinental champion. Umaga actually wrestled for the WWE Championship multiple times, not having to fight in some 6-way Hell in a Cell match, nothing like that. Nah. Umaga went straight at John Cena multiple times. Had classics. Probably gave John Cena his best match of his entire career at the Royal Rumble 2007. I highly recommend you go check out that match. You know, Umaga was in the ring with the President of the United States. Like, you know what I mean? Umaga had the backing of Vince McMahon. As a matter of fact, I would argue that Umaga probably had the best year of any superstar outside of the world champions in 2006. Bro was a killer. Bro had it going for himself. As a matter of fact, the only thing, and God rest the dead, the only thing that held Umaga back, unfortunately, you know, substance abuse is a bitch. That's the only thing that really held Umaga back, man. That and, you know, his fluctuating weight issues. It was kind of the same ordeal with Yokozuna, but, you know, it is what it is, man. I ain't gonna talk on Umaga too much because that man ain't here to defend himself. But just go look up the situation in regards to Umaga, man. You know, it sucks sometimes when a person can. Damn, I ain't gonna speak on the man's name, man. Everybody miss Umaga in the end of the day, but like, that's what was holding Umaga back. Umaga was holding Umaga back. With Rikishi, you know, there was nothing holding Rikishi back, but his what would you say? What kept him confined in the box? And look, I fuck with Rikishi. I grew up with Rikishi, but let's not pretend as if Rikishi wasn't one-dimensional. You know what I mean? And he was good at that one-dimensional thing, but let's not pretend as if Rikishi was not one-dimensional. He had his ass. That's it. And how many gimmicks did Rikishi go through? You know, we're talking about the Samoan SWAT, right? Wasn't he with the Samoan SWAT, the SWAT team, if I'm not mistaken, with Paulie? I think so. Someone can correct me. But even in particular with WWE, right? You know, Mr. Make a Difference, right? That was Rikishi back in like the mid 90s. Had the Sultan gimmick, right? Then he ended up fucking being Rikishi. Fatu at first, then just Rikishi. Then he was a bad man. Like, he had to go through all these iterations to get over. Whereas Umaga, you know, he was Jamal for a minute with Rosie, took off the TNA, came back, was Umaga. Blew up just like that. So I could see the stance of Rikishi being jealous of Umaga. I can actually see that. Think about it. In 2007, once again, Umaga, he's with Vince McMahon. Wrestling Vince McMahon's project and Bobby Lashley at the time. with Donald Trump right there. What was Rikishi doing at the same time? Homeboy was causing trouble backstage in TNA, not wanting to put over anybody. Allegedly, I can't speak to that, but apparently, you know, got to be careful with that. Can't go and say the things about Aleister Black I said yesterday and allegedly say the same shit Rikishi was going through in TNA. But allegedly, the same thing happened with Rikishi. It was a pain in the ass backstage, from my understanding. Can't say whether that is true or not, but that's apparently the truth, right? Apparently from what I'm hearing. And then cooperating with that behavior, going off of what Umaga's wife is saying right here, seems pretty consistent. Can't say it's true, but it seems pretty consistent. And then again, you hear how he talks in his podcast and how he picks and chooses who he likes as far as his kids, because that's how it comes off to me. Honestly, it comes off to me like that. And I think to any rational human being who sees how Rikishi talks on his podcast about his kids, it's wild. It's wild. I talked about this in the last video with Zilla. It's wild to hear this man talk about Jey Uso in the manner of how he talks about, but completely forgets that his other sons exist in WWE. Completely forgets that, you know, Jimmy Uso, he might need some, you know, some of that rub you keep giving to Jey. You know, the fact that you will talk about Jey Uso not getting the main event and blatantly ignore the fact that one of your sons is in the main event, it speaks volumes to Rikishi's character. It does. The blatant favoritism, the blatant shit talking of your dead relatives, again, that's fucking wild if that happens to be true. But to be fair, for him to be so flippant, for him to just talk on Umaga's name so easily when referring to the man's son, I mean, I guess it wouldn't surprise me if the man did it on a consistent basis in person. If you could do it so easily, like how you did it right here on your podcast, why the hell would I not believe that you didn't do the same thing in private so easily? You know what I mean? Now, again, this is all alleged. I would have to hear Rikishi's side. You know what I mean? I will have to hear how he's going to come back. And I got to presume he's going to come back. He just, knowing Rikishi and how he comes across, I don't think he's just going to sit back and lie down and, you know, just let Zilla Fatu's mom just go off like that. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to respond. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt for now and say everything is alleged to what Zilla's mom is saying. And then we'll come back and hear what Rikishi is going to say when he responds to this inevitably. And then we can kind of weigh it and see where both sides are going with this and come to our own conclusion when it's all said and done. For people out there who are going to be like, well, Devontae, I don't really think it's cool to be, you know, talking about people's lives like this and speculate. Hey, it's in the open. I didn't go searching for this outside of looking for news. It was already out there in the open. You put your personal life out there. Hey, we're just spectators. I got a channel. I got a job to do. You put your information out like that, I call it content. And if it means anything, so far it ain't looking too good for Big Keish in my eyes from an opinionated standpoint. But like I said, ain't a dead deal yet. Let the man speak his piece. Let him explain himself and say where he's coming from. Because again, there's ways to go about this. There's ways to criticize. I understand you criticizing Zilla. Like I said, I don't even think Zilla even referenced him being criticized outside of the fact that Rikishi didn't talk to him on the phone. And even then, he's right. Talk to him on the phone if you're really going to critique his stuff. Because I don't think Umaga's a significant other didn't go out of their way to critique the Usos when they were going around. I don't think they're critiquing the Usos right now when Jey Uso is numero uno, number one, being the opposition of the IWC right now, especially coming off of his pretty, lackadaisical run after the Royal Rumble. She could have put him on blast too, she wanted to, but she did it, kept to herself. But you got a platform and you did it to her nephew and you did it to her son. Come on, be real about it. I'm just saying, right is right, wrong is wrong. But I'm gonna let you guys discuss this amongst each other as far as the discussion goes in regards to Zilla Fatu's mom's rhetoric. We'll see what Rikishi's gonna say in the future, and then we'll revisit this topic once again. Like I said, seems like it's gonna be a saga, but I'll reserve my opinions for then. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you fine folks later. A deuces and a P ice.